if you are doing well in your country, in any country in Africa, yeah, things might be very difficult, but you can't compare where you have figured yourself out to a country where you are new. When I talk about being new, it's not about visiting. When you are living, it's not from visiting. You are new in every dimension. I mean, the fact that I've been to UK many years before living there was discounted, totally discounted. The only advantage I would have was I knew where places, I knew how to shop. I knew what it takes to go to mall and all of that. And that really is next to nothing when it comes to survivor. You walk in a place where literally the things you would never condescend to do in your home country, you would do it, right, with joy. You could wash toilet. Maybe you work in a care home, you work in a nursing home. Apart from the fact that you take care of old people, for example, you change their diapers, clean their sheets, permit my rough language, and you want to make tea at beck and call. Bells are ringing. They have alarms. They have different homes have different kind of sound system that will alert you when there is a need, and you must respond. Not just responding, you must deliver the right kind of service to them. Otherwise, you will not, because these are not employments. They are like one-off job. That you work there today does not guarantee that you work there the next day. The system is designed that you can't get richer. They will cut you to a map. You have to struggle to rise above board. People are dying because many things are not the way they appear from the outside. They are totally different from the inside. When you get in there, it's a survival of the fittest. These things are very emotional to me, but I have to say it out in a way that will not scare you from coming. But at the same time, I'm begging you, if you want to come, think well. It's not worth selling your things to come. It's not. Now, I'm not saying don't come, but don't come under a do or die. The end for more people than less is usually good. But that's if you can go through that journey and come out in peace, one piece. Hi guys, my name is Tunde, and then this is my channel, Tunde Talk. I just want to say a few things, especially about moving out of your country to a foreign land. In my country, like Nigeria, we call that effect the JAPA effect, and it has affected many complaints. So a lot of graduates, skilled workers especially, have left the country for better countries. Well, in perspective, in terms of economy, in terms of settlement, in terms of security. And then you have countries like United Kingdom, the United States of America, Canada, Australia. I mean, as destinations, I think the most popular is Canada and the United Kingdom, perhaps because of their programs. And then this has really become a big wave, just as when we thought it would have stopped by now. It looks like it's wearing a new tone. So what's my opinion as someone who has been outside of the country, not for too long, but just shortly before this wave became a hot topic for discussion? I just thought I should give one or two advices and then let you understand from my experiential perspective, so that you can have a good picture of what I'm about to say. I'd like to say a few things about myself. For example, I left the country in 2021. That should be 4 years ago now, for the United Kingdom. And My wife went to school, read nursing, and the original plan was for her to go to school alone. And then we thought of family, the importance of family, and how difficult it would be to separate them. So the next concession was to go with the kids. But so I went with them, returned home to continue working. But I couldn't last 3 months apart from my family. So my case is not a case of being desperate to relocate, although it has been a long time agreement that at some point we would live outside the country. I mean, as at the time of that decision, it was a 9-year-old uh, decision. It was a matter of time, right? And I was working in a financial institution. I was doing pretty well because I was at a very good time of my career because I mean I'd risen to managerial level. So I mean to a good extent, having put in like 15 to 16 years, and it was a good time to begin to say begin to reap the benefits of such career. And I was also working in a foremost bank in Nigeria then, a leading bank, always first three. So I mean, it's a first in many things, including its name. Now, and so I decided to relocate after 3 months to join my family. No strategy, no plan. I just wanted to avoid separation with my family because I couldn't cope. I love my family so much. I love my wife. I love my kids with everything. And I love God, right? So, besides, I was in a situation where my wife was the only one in the family of six siblings in the country. All I've left for good countries, right? Like the UK, the Canada. However, she was all in there just because of me. I mean, very loyal wife. Shout out to you, my wife. Um, but at the end of the day, um, is it a regrettable decision? No, not for me. But one of those things I never regretted was the choice of course. I made sure that it was nursing because I mean I did my research and because I have also sibling abroad. I have my younger, immediate younger and older. So I my ears are on ground, so I knew what was going on. Besides, we visit every other year. It's so I knew what it was to settle right in such a country. So nursing, mental health nurse was my first choice. And then as God will have it, she had an admission in that kind of course. You would wonder why mental health. Mental health because the country pay keen attention to health sector. So the gap in the manpower was so loud that it's one of those courses, just like IT, that you can, if you are licensed to work as they call it licensed nurse, right? A registered nurse, whether adult children or mental health just seems to have an edge in terms of pay and recognition too, where it's debatable. But that's what we heard on ground. That's not my point, but it's what we meant on ground. And then, so I chose for that course because you would get job. And true to it, we went in there, first one order, the other, just fast forwarding. At the second year in the university, my wife already had a good job, right? Ahead of finishing, 1 year to finish. Job was signed, offer letter issued, just waiting to be like to finish the schooling and then get licensed and then start work immediately. So that's how fantastic it is. So my first point to you is be mindful of the kind of course you want to go and read. Do your research. You can't go and read a course that will not give you an advantage and then you will pull your family to that kind of place. Second advice is if you are doing well in your country, in any country in Africa, yeah, things might be very difficult, but you can't compare where you have figured yourself out to a country where you are new. When I talk about being new, it's not about visiting. When you are living, it's not from visiting. You are new in every dimension. I mean, the fact that I've been to UK many years before living there was discounted, totally discounted. The only advantage I would have was I knew where places, I knew how to shop. I knew what it takes to go to mall and all of that. And that really is next to nothing when it comes to survivor. It was tough. I mean, it started from many a job. You had to do one or two things to survive. I had an advantage because I mean my younger brother was already successful. He's in the health sector. He owned an agency. He owned a care home. So a lot of information to work with. But disadvantage, we're not in the same territory. It was far away, so there's limits to the kind of leverage I can have. So I was thrown into the main war. But one or two leverages still played out. But you have to find your feet. So I was fast in ensuring that I didn't record regret. So I had to put off my managerial cap at the time where I already had people reporting to me. These are really big people in their own respect too, and I mean no exaggeration. Right, my team was filled with brilliant people, people of class, right? So coming to a place where you have to start all over, listen to people who were not in school when I was already working. You have to find a way to blend in. So my advice to you there is blend in. Stop going back to tell stories of wars. Sorry, I might be so harsh by that. Don't be fixated on saying how you were this or that, how you made money, how you used to. All of those things would always come, but you need to hold yourself firm and put your eye on the goal. Why are you here? Those are the questions you must be able to ask. Number one question: why are you here? Have you defined why you're there? If you haven't, it's not too late to define. So those definitions would always play out in your mind when those challenging times come. I mean, you work in a place where literally the things you would never condescend to do in your home country, you would do it, right, with joy. You could wash toilet. Maybe you work in a care home, you work in a nursing home. Apart from the fact that you take care of old people, for example, you change their diapers, clean their sheets, permit my rough language, and you make tea at beck and call. Bells are ringing. They have alarms. They have different homes have different kind of sound system that will alert you when there is a need, and you must respond. Not just responding, you must deliver the right kind of service to them. Otherwise, you will not, because these are not employments. They are like one-off job. That you work there today does not guarantee that you work there the next day. Whereas at that time, I still tell you stories about what happened later when people are desperate to really get what we call sponsorship. The story changed. People were now urging for full-time job at the minimum wage. At this time, you have apps, you could pick job, you could go from one place to another, and you take every sheet because you want to return there the next time. Because if you mix things up, you are not called, you won't be called the next time, and that's your loss. So you forbear everything. Apart from forbearing everything, you would have to understand how to forget yourself. You will never put yourself ahead of anything. Be behind. Take all the shit, as we normally call it. These are not shit in language. I'm talking about shit in real terms. So you need to know how to forbear it. And you could see, and because we always look younger than our age. You can imagine one day I was working in a young adolescent ward, and one of the patients, they were having a discussion, and he said, "How old are you?" I said, "Well, I can't answer that. You're free to take a guess." And guess what? At then I was 41 or 42 years old. And then the kid said, "You should be between 18 and 20." And I was shocked. And I gave him a very polite response. I said, well, maybe I can also as well be my father. And he was shocked. And then the perspective changed a bit that so these people are not kids. So where you see the truth is we had a life. Some of us it was our third life, not even second. So you can imagine the emotions you need to bottle in, talking to children, people who have been kids who are like who are young enough to be your kids, ordering you around, asking you to do same thing twice without even apologizing. So you need to keep up with such characters because your eyes is paying my money. The money can be good sometimes too, especially when you convert to your home country. But then you know there are bills to pay. Those are stories for another time, right? The system is designed that you can't get richer. They will cut you to a map. You have to struggle to rise above board. Especially things are not like in home countries where you get promoted because you have worked for certain years. No, you can be in a position forever. That's what you are contracted to do. There's no increase in salary. There is no negotiation. Nobody's fighting for you. So the only way you can get better is to change your job, right? Look for something better to do or add up more job, put up more hours. Those are your options for more money. Not doing same thing and expecting an increase. No. So those are part of the joy and opportunity you will be missing if you take this decision, if you haven't yet. And if you are there, UK, Canada, America, Australia, anywhere, it's the same story everywhere. The tax system is so perfect, you can't play around it, you can't exempt it, you can't even try to be smart around it, right? So everything is systematic. So you have everything planned out. So what a view. I mean, speaking about the UK system, because in another story, I'll be telling you about Canada's story, how I got to Canada, how things change. So one good thing about the relocation is this. If you don't die, now please don't think I'm sounding too harsh because people are really dying. That's the fact. People are dying because of so much work. I need to sound this warning. If you have health challenges, please don't come. If you manage your health, underlying ailment, except you are not going to be the principal, somebody else is going to be to the struggle and you're just going to do some simple job. If you do know what people do, they are not only indebted to UK in terms of school fees, they're also indebted at home, borrowed all kinds of money, so they need to work themselves out. People are dying. It's so sad. People collapsing. One day I was recruiting some people through my brother's agency, and I was speaking to a lady, and the lady was telling me about her experience that ever since she's been working there for less than 2 years, she has fainted about 6 times. That one of them, that she was only lucky that at every of those times she was fainting, no white people was there. It's either she was alone or a fellow African or Nigerian would be by her side. So it wasn't escalated. Otherwise, they will not only ban her from working there, they will make sure that she doesn't work anywhere again. That means her health cannot take it. It was sad. I panicked when I heard about that. Of course, I enjoyed a little because, I mean, there are many things. My period for all of those things were not as much as what many people went through. But I also had the experience. I can't deny. I had the experience. Now, so later on, I started working in a place where not dirty, not anything, but there are emotional issues to manage. Some of them I mentioned earlier. Many politicking, many call-outs, unnecessary escalations, people who are beefing you because they could see your intelligence and they can't understand why you are so bold. So the bolder you are, the more you are up for challenges. Now, I will be telling you more of these things, right, in some of these videos. This is just an opening videos. I just lay it down. I'll be giving you how to cope with the system when you are new. What are those things you should look out for? What are those things that you should know first? You know, how do you navigate your way? How do you change your career? What are the first things you should be thinking of as soon as you arrive? Maybe like UK, what are the first things that that should be coming through in your mind so that you even know where to focus on? Because many things are not the way they appear from the outside. They are totally different from the inside. When you get in there, it's a survival of the fittest. You have to buckle up yourself. You have to make sure that you're on top of your game. You can't afford to be sick, for example. For example, I can't tell you, I can tell you for free, the health system is not as you think. UK health system, and I think some extent Canada too, is so overburdened because the crowds are not planned for. They are not planned for. There are many, many people coming in that are unplanned for. Not just Africans. UK had what they are in, the Arabians are coming in. Everybody wants a better positioning in life. But the ways at which people come to UK is not through largely immigration. It's through like students and all of that. So like you are planning for 50 people, but those 50 people have an average of 3 people coming with them. That's 150. So you can understand where the gap in planning is. For them, they thought people were coming to school, but they didn't. I don't know. I can't speak for them, but it was more than school. It was settlement. It was clear, or it is clear, because people are still coming, although they adjusted their system not to bring a foreign from master. But that came a bit late because a lot of people are already in. There's nothing you can do until they run out with the visas and have no options. And trust me, people will always find their way out. These things are very emotional to me, but I have to say it out in a way that will not scare you from coming, but at the same time, I'm begging you, if you want to come, think well. It's not worth selling your things to come. It's not. Now, I'm not saying don't come, but don't come under a do or die, because the emotional torture. Now, let me put it in this perspective so that you understand it clearly. The end for more people than less is usually good. But that's if you can go through that journey and come out in peace, one piece. Because a lot of things get missing on the way. One of them, marriages are broken. I'm going to speak more on that on our video, but let me sound this one in case you have an opportunity to watch this one. Please, if your marriage is shaky, don't come. That I can tell you without apology. If you have a shaky marriage, don't come. You need to have a kind of consolidated relationship before you come. Because the marriages that can take, say, 50 years to break in your home country, if it lasts 1 year here, you are a superhero. So it's better you don't have those funny stories. Your emotions are still at the baby stage. You argue and fight all the time, especially those of you who are cocky men. You hit on your wife. In fact, if you have a habit of hitting on your wife, please don't come, because this system empowers women. And the day they have that power and they remember the emotional torture you have put them through, they will have no apology to kick you out. You can end up in jail. Otherwise, even some of them are so wise that they will wait for you to achieve. Buy a house, be comfortable, then they will take vengeance. No apology. And then you will lose your house to them. In your country, in Africa, you send women out of the house. In Europe and some advanced countries, the man leaves the house for the wife and kids. It's something I know, I've experienced, I've seen many, right? I'm lucky. I married one of the best women in the world, so I have no issues at all. In case you are wondering, no, not at all. And I'm happy and I'm thanking God. I'm just one of those very few lucky ones. There are many, many successful marriages. Don't misquote me. I've been in churches, I've been in neighborhoods. Many families are coping. But there are many also that are waiting time bombs. A lot of things are done based on contract. So you begin to learn that what you call marriage is called partner. So when you say my spouse, there's something also called my partner. So there are other things. There are many harmonious and relationships that you can't even define rather. So before I lose the trail of our discussion, another critical thing that I need you to put in mind is this: don't sabotage your opportunity because of this video. Rather, use it to evaluate your decision. It might help you to take the right decision to come. It might also save you from taking the wrong decision to come. So my position is not come or no come. My position is to lay it bare so that you can pick from your options, because no two stories are the same. That's one thing you'll find out. You can't copy here. No two stories. I've got someone who came in and almost immediately came for master's, before even spending 3 months in master's, had a PhD, very sharp guy, enter into PhD, wife could not get job in her profession, enter into a sector, and they're doing fine. And they love each other too, and they are playing well. So there are success stories to share. But two stories cannot be the same. Two stories cannot be. People have various stories. Sometimes you see two people, they are together, but some of them are like waiting time bomb. Waiting time bomb. You don't know what they are covering. You don't know what's going on. So my final position is you need to be closer to God. Some of you might think that when you leave for a country like this, and then all those wahala, go to church. No, this is when you need God the most. If you know how to pray and fast, this is when you are outside, that's when you need God, because you don't have the kind of automatic support system you have in Africa. Your wife, your family, your cousins, your uncles, even your friends, they can raise you, they can hold you when you are falling. If you fall here, you are better be sure that there is a cushion, because you are going to hit your head on the ground. Even the person who promised to help you is also falling when you were falling. So no, you can't go and you can't meet a friend for money when he's still planning to see how he will pay his house rent. It's not going to take, for example, this place will train you, as in abroad, will train you how not to feel guilty over anything. Somebody can be dying and you are trying to survive. So it will make you tough. If you see somebody who is a spendthrift, who spend anyhow, somebody who doesn't care about life, ship the person to UK. You will learn lessons. So much to learn. Pounds will humble you. Pounds will humble you, because you will have to respect pound to have it. You can't mess up with it. Those exchange rates you are seeing, they are not for joke. People go through a lot. In another episode, I'll be telling you about expectations. How do we need to support each other? It is a clear fact. People are in need in hometown, in our country. Families, relatives, they are reaching out for help. But some of them don't understand. Because what you don't have, you can't give. It's a mentality thing. Everybody just thinks because you're outside the country, you are making it. My brother, it's not just that way. Some people are dying. So the best you can do is to pray for them and understand. And then for those who are abroad, when you have, please spare, because people are also going through things at home. And I want us to be sincere. I'm going to broker that relationship in one of my videos. I think it should be the next. The relationship between your family abroad and you. The same way you in your home country needs to understand. Don't play pranks. Don't lie. Don't make your mother swallow shovel just because you want to collect money. You are not talking to fools now. You know why you shouldn't lie? If you lie to collect money, the person knows he can give you just to avoid. When you really need that money, he or she will disappoint you. at a critical moment. So be truthful. Let them know that if this one is coming, it's a genuine reason and it will provide evidence. You can't be telling me. You see, some of you do what we call emotional blackmail rather than even seeking for help. And many things, they gave you money, you just say thank you. Because you thought the person can give you more, but you don't know where the person went through to even give you that. It might be giving you half of what he had for that month. It's your perspective. You are using your perspective to judge. You don't know the reality of the other person. Because you visited and you saw the person live in a house, have a car. It's a lie. No, only a few people cannot let me call it few. Hand count of people abroad can buy anything with their own money. They are all loans, credits. That car you are seeing, they might be paying for it into the next 5 to 7 years. That house you are seeing there, it might be indebted for another 20, 25 years. It's just the opportunities that are here. There's opportunities around, not as if they are. And did you know that that house is living is one of the reasons why he cannot even help? Because he is earning 2,500, 3,000 pounds and he's paying 1,500 every month for rentals, for interest. His car is probably paying 500 pounds, so 2,000. And his other expenses, household expenses, utility bills and all of that are running him into 3,000. And the remaining 1,000 that he has is trying to sort bills. You know, he pays for medicals. He's not a kid. You only see doctors for free, but when you are to buy drugs, you pay. There are many things people are paying for. And then when you do all of those things, you then want to say, okay, I have 500 left. And somebody is asking for an equivalent of 300 pounds. And you are saying, is it not just 300 pounds he needs to send? My brother, he only has 500 to survive for the month. So if he gives you 50 pounds out of that money, say thank you. It's another video. For now, I'll leave you. Thank you so much for your time. And please subscribe for more videos. I've got so much. I've been around. I've been in UK. I'm currently in Canada. But I'm starting with the UK journey. And I have a lot that I need to tell you from my experience. Please subscribe and share this video. Click likes and comment. Especially if you have gone through similar experience. Please click and make comments below. And if I've said anything that hurts you, please forgive me. That's not the intention. It's just a discussion to keep an open mind. Thank you so much. Till we see you in the next video. Cheers.